Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Kill Team Battle Report. I am Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from Casa de Geek, where I am about to fight a 100-point kill team battle between my Adeptus Mechanicus forces and the Glacial Goddesses Guardsmen, Imperial Guard. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we may be stuck at home because of the COVID-19, and doing our part to help our fellow citizens, but that's not going to keep us from bringing you some good kill team action. The story that we've got going on here today for this battle report is that the Adeptus Mechanicus discovered that on this planet were some corrupted archeotech that had been corrupted by the forces of chaos, and they knew that they needed to collect it. But the problem was that they knew that if they alerted the local people to what was going on this planet, that it might cause panic. And decided that what they would do instead would send in a quick strike force of Rangers to go grab it and then try to get off the planet so that it was never came into the wrong hands and didn't cause the wrong corruption to occur. It would also allow them to keep it from falling into the wrong hands if they just asked the local government to give it to them. So they sent in the forces, but unfortunately for them, it didn't go quite as planned because the local Planetary Defense Force mustered a force to deny them access to these pieces of corrupted archeotech. And as such, they decided to mount a battle against them. So that's the story that we've got going on. The mission that we're going to be playing is just kind of a mix between holding objectives and killing things. So essentially, we've got the two squads on either side. There are three objectives on the table, one over here, one in the middle, and one over here. This is not actually an objective there. These are going to be worth 2 points each at the end of the game. But you also get a point for every one of their specialists that you kill and 2 points for killing their leader. So that's the story. That is the mission. Before we go any further, though, let's show you the two kill teams that are going to be fighting it out. So for the Ad Mech, my kill team will consist of, from left to right, we have my leader, who is a Ranger Alpha with a taser goad and a blaster pistol. We then have a Ranger with an Omnispex, who's the comm specialist. We have a Ranger Gunner with a plasma caliber, who will be my sniper specialist. We have a Ranger with an arc rifle, who will be my heavy specialist. We have a Ranger Gunner with a transuranic arquebus, and we have 4 more Rangers. Then for the Imperial Guard, her kill team will consist of, from left to right, we have a Sergeant who is the leader. We then have a Scion Gunner with a plasma gun as the sniper specialist. We have a heavy specialist who is a gunner with a flamer. We have a special weapons gunner with a grenade launcher who will be the demolitions expert. We then have a Scion gunner with a plasma gun. We have 3 Scions, and we have 5 guardsmen. All right, so those are the kill teams going over deployment here. We have my sniper specialist back over here. We've got my comm specialist right behind him, but also in range of my gunner with the transuranic arquebus. We have my alpha back over here, the leader, hiding in the back there like all true leaders should. We got my heavy specialist with the arc rifle over on this side. And then we have the 4 Rangers up in the front there ready to move up the table. Going over here for the Astra Militarum, we've got a whole bunch of guardsmen, and we've got the couple Scions up in the front here, along with my heavy specialist with the flamer. We then have my demo specialist up on the top here, behind cover. We have my sniper specialist on the objective over here, being supported with another guardsman and a Scion, and the leader, again, in the back, defending himself back over there. So that's deployment. We are now going to roll off to see who has initiative going into round 1. So rolling 2d6. I rolled an 8. And she rolled a 5. So it will be to the Ad Mech here on turn 1. We'll come back to you after movement phase. So movement phase for the Ad Mech here. I did roll mechanicals. I rolled 5 and 2, and I'm doing Mars, so I get both of them. I get +1 strength, and I get, in the fight phase, I can do mortal wounds. But obviously, I don't think either of those are going to be of any real use this turn, but such is the way. Then I did a lot of advancing with my regular Rangers. So this guy advanced over here. He advanced up on top over there. These 2 guys advanced over here on the side. And I moved with my heavy specialist, my sniper specialist, and my comms specialist. I readied with my guy with the transuranic arquebus. So that's going to be it for the movement phase for the Ad Mech here. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the Astra Militarum. Movement phase for the Imperial Guard here on turn 1. These 3 guys over here just moved up to this position. These 2 guys up here advanced, rolling 6s for both of them, which is pretty good. This guy just moved, advanced up over here, didn't roll as well. This guy moved, but this guy advanced up to over here, and then these guys advanced over here, rolling not great for them either. But these guys rolling up there was awesome. His grenade launcher guy is staying still and readying himself, so that should be it for her kill team here for movement phase here on turn 1. So we will come back to you with the shooting phase here on turn 1. So starting off the shooting phase, my guy over here with the Transuranic Arquebus is going to fire into his sniper specialist over here. Do not suffer the penalty from over half, even though I think he's within half. It's range 60 for this weapon, so he would have to be over 30, but he does not suffer the penalty for that, but he is obscured, so I will be hitting on a 4. That is not a hit. I'm going to spend a CP to re-roll that. There we go, that's a hit. This is gonna be strength 7, so looking for a 2 to wound. Whoa. Come on, stay on the table. Stay on the table. 2 to wound. That's a wound with a fill face, which actually does a mortal wound in addition. So that's gonna stop it. We don't go into saves or the damage. Damage would be D3, but because of that 6, it does a mortal wound. We will now roll for his injury roll. And on a 6, he is out of action. All right, so now the grenade launcher here is going to fire into my heavy specialist over here. He is more than half. He is more than half range, and he is obscured. So she will need a 6 to hit him with the grenade launcher. No hit. All right, my opponent's going to spend a CP looking for a 6 on this roll. No, does not get it. All right, so now my sniper specialist over here is going to get started in the regular part of the shooting phase here. He is going to fire into this Scion over here. I'm not going to supercharge. There's no need for that. But I am going to take the advantage of the comm specialist here, going to give him +1 to hit, and he also has an Omnispecs here that he's going to allow him to ignore cover there. So actually, you know what? I am going to supercharge. I am going to supercharge with him. So it's going to be 2 shots. These are going to be hitting on 2s now because of the combination of the Omnispecs and the comm specialist. That's going to be 2 hits. These are going to be wounding on 2s. That's going to be 2 wounds. These are going to be AP -3, which actually go through the armor there. So it's going to go straight through, doing 2 damage apiece. So we just have the one that goes through for 2 damage, rolling the injury rolls. And on that 5 and a 6, he's out of action. All right, so now this guy over here, this Scion Gunner, is going to fire his plasma gun into my heavy specialist over here. She is going to supercharge him, so he's going to be firing there. She's already spent her CP, so it's a little bit risky. She knows the risk, but she's going to take it anyway. So 2 shots here, hitting on 4s. He's within half range for rapid fire, but he is obscured. So hitting on 4s, 2 dice because he's within half range. That's going to be no hits, but doesn't explode. And now my heavy specialist over here is going to fire right back at him. I'm going to spend 1 CP for more bullets, giving me 3 shots over here. These are going to be hitting on 4s as well because they are -1 to hit because of being obscured. That's going to be 3 hits here. These are strength 6, so wounding on 2s. That's going to be 3 wounds at AP -1. So looking for 5 up saves on those. Making 1, failing at least 1, failing 2 of them. So we'll see his injury roll here. On a 2, he takes a flesh wound. So now this Scion here is going to fire into my Ranger over here. He's within half range, so it's going to be 2 dice here, 2 shots here, looking for 4s to hit because he is obscured. Getting 1 hit. That's going to be strength 3, so looking for a 4 to wound. Pick that up and roll a 4 to wound. No wound. Now my comm specialist here is going to fire into his Scion up on top here. It's going to be 2 shots, looking for 4s to hit because of being obscured. That's going to be no hits. Now this Guardsman here is going to fire into my heavy specialist, 2 shots, hitting on 5s because my guy is obscured over there. No hits. All right, so that's going to be it for turn 1 here. We got no more things to shoot, and there is nothing in combat for the fight phase. So we will now roll to see who will have initiative going into turn 2. Oop. You want to roll another die there? Yeah, roll that one again. So 3 + 1, 4. So it will be Ad Mech getting the advantage here. We'll come back to you after movement phase. Movement phase for the Ad Mech here on turn 2. These guys moved over here. This guy moved up over this way. Transuranic Arquebus guy readied himself, as did my heavy specialist, and this guy back over here. Now we're going to have some charges. We're going to start with my ranger up here, charge it into his scion. So she's going to fire Overwatch here. So 2 shots here, hitting on 6s. No hits there. His charge distance is definitely in. Now my guy over here is going to charge into all 3 of these guys looking to get in there. So she's going to start firing Overwatch with the guy in the back there with the plasma gun. So 2 shots here, hitting on 6s. No hits there. Then we'll go to the guy in the middle. 2 shots, hitting on 6s. Getting 2 hits. These are strength 3, toughness 3, so looking for 4s to wound. Getting 2 wounds, AP nothing, so looking for 4-up saves. And I make 1, fail 1, so now you get to roll injury roll here. 1 dice, 1 die, looking for a 4+. And with that 5, he's out of action. Movement for the Imperial Guard here on turn 2. She had these 2 guys over here ready themselves. Had all these 3 guys ready themselves. His grenade launcher over here readied himself. And then this guy up here moved up over onto the building over on this side. He's locked in combat. We're now going to have this guy over on the side here charge into this guy over here. I do not have sight here, so no Overwatch, so 2d6 charging. 3 inches will not make it. She's going to spend a CP to re-roll that. And an 8 will get him in. So we made it into combat over there, and then she moved up her flamer guy over here to provide cover, taking cover behind her guy over here from this guy. So that's going to be it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so the Transuranic Arquebus guy is going to fire into her heavy weapons guy there. So 1 shot, hitting on a 3. That's a hit. Wounding on a 2. That is a wound with a 6, causing a mortal wound. So rolling the injury roll. And on a 3, takes a flesh wound. I'm going to spend a CP to reroll that. And with that filth base, she is out. Woo! All right, so now the Scion over here is going to fire into my sniper specialist over here. So it's going to be 2 shots hitting on 3s because he's actually not obscured from that the location there. So that's not great. So 2 shots hitting on 3s. That's going to be 1 hit. Strength 3, so wounding on a 4. 1 dice. No wound there. Do you want to spend a CP to re-roll that? I'm going to spend a CP to re-roll that. Into a 6, that is going to be a wound. All right, AP -2, so looking for a 6-up save. No, not quite. So rolling 1 damage there, so 1 injury roll here. And on a 5, out of action. My heavy specialist here is going to fire into her gunner back over there. So 2 shots because within 12 inches. Hitting on a 4 though because of obscurement. That's going to be no hits. All right, so now this guy over here is going to fire right back. There's going to be 2 shots here. Hitting on 5s because of the flesh wound and because of the obscuration here. So she is going to supercharge here. So it's going to be 2 shots hitting on 5s. Looking for no 1s. All right, getting 2 hits, which is pretty good there. So that's going to be strength 8, so 2 wound rolls here, looking for 2+. That's going to be 2 wounds. AP -3 is going to go straight through the armor there. So now you're going to roll, 1 second. All right, my bionics mean I get a 6-up invul save here. Getting 1, but not the other one, so that's going to be 2 damage. So 2 dice on this injury roll here. So looking for 5+ to go out because of the behind cover over there. But on that 6, he's out of action. And now the Demolitions Explodey guy is going to fire into my Ranger over here. So it's going to be 1 shot here with a crack grenade, hitting on a 5 because of obscuration. It is over 12 inches, which is more than half range, but she is Vestroyan, so they get to ignore that penalty. So 1 dice, looking for a 5. That's got cocked, so roll another dice. No hit. And now this guardsman is going to fire into my comm specialist. 2 shots because within 12 inches there. That's going to be no hits. And now the front guardsman is going to fire into my arquebus guy, hitting on a 5 because of obscurement, but ignoring the more than half range there. So 1 dice hitting on a 5. Nope, no hit there. And then the next guy will do the same thing. No hit there. And now my guy over here is going to fire into her Scion over there. 2 shots. Getting 1 hit. That is going to be 1 wound. AP -1 because it was a 6 to wound, so looking for a 5-up save. No good, so injury roll. And with a 6, he's out of action. This guy over here is going to fire into my comm specialist, 2 shots, hitting on 5s because of being obscured. That's going to be 2 hits, looking for 4s to wound. That is going to be 1 wound. AP nothing, looking for a 4-up save. No, I failed it. So that's going to be 1 injury roll there. Roll 1 die. And on a 4, oh no, he's within range. He's within 1 inch of obscuring terrain, so he will be taking a flesh wound. And now he's going to try to return the favor. Going to be hitting on 5s though because of being obscured and because of the flesh wound. Getting 1 hit, no wound. All right, so now into the fight phase. My ranger over here is going to attack into her scion first. 1 attack here, hitting on a 4. That's a hit. Because of mechanicals, I actually got number 5 and number 6. So I'll actually have +1 strength here. So it's going to be looking for a strength 4 against toughness 3. So looking for a 3 to wound. No wound. And now her guardsman's going to attack over here. 1 attack, hitting on a 4. Nope, no hit there. And then I will attack back. That's not a hit. And now her scion's going to attack back. 1 attack, hitting on a 4. That is no hit. All right, so that's going to be it for turn 2 here. No one has to roll for break yet still, so we're still good to go there. So we're now going to roll to... oh, no, we do have to roll some leadership here. This guy over here has a flesh wound, and there are 4 out, so roll 1 d6 for this nerve test. 4 plus 4 is 8. 1 second. Nope, he failed that one. And then I've got 1 guy over here. 5 plus the 3 is 8. He's also going to fail that nerve test. So both of them will not be able to do anything next turn. So now we are going to roll to see who has initiative going into turn 3 here. 8 to 11, so we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Astra Militarum. All right, movement phase for the Astra Militarum here on turn 3. The leader stayed back there. He readied up on top here. This guardsman readied here. He can't do anything because he's nervy. These 2 guys moved up here. He stayed in combat, and he stayed in combat. Now she's going to have this guardman charge into this guy as well. So 2d6, no overwatch because he's engaged in combat. And that is way in. Now for the Adeptus Mechanicus, my archivist guy readied himself. He can't do anything, and this guy over here readied himself, and they're going to stay in combat. He because he has to, he because he chooses to. So that's going to be it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so start with the shooting phase. Grenade launcher here is going to fire into my comm specialist over here. So it's going to be 1d6, looking for a 5 to hit. No hit there. Going to spend a CP to re-roll that one. Into a 5, that's a hit. Strength 6, that's going to be wounding on a 2. That's a wound. AP -1, 5-up save. No, failed that one. I'm going to spend a CP to reroll that. Still failed that one. So it's going to be D3 damage. That's going to be 3 damage. So let's roll 3 dice for this injury roll. +1, -1, and that 5, he's out of action. My ranger over here is going to fire into his guy over here. 2 shots. That's going to be 1 hit. That's going to be no wound. My bad, that is a wound. It's strength 4. So this is going to be looking for a 5-up save. No save there. So injury roll. And on a 4, he's out of action. JK flesh wound, he's within an inch over here. So he's going to fire back into this guy over here. 2 shots, hitting on 6s because of the flesh wound and obscured. No hit. So now my archivist guy is going to fire into the front guy over there. 1 shot. That is not a hit. So now the front guy over here is going to fire into my archivist guy. 2 shots, hitting on 5s because of obscurement. That's going to be 1 hit. Strength 3, toughness 3, looking for a 4. 1 dice, looking for a 4 to wound. No wound. And then this guy's also going to shoot into my archivist guy. 2 shots, hitting on 5s because of obscurement. He is in rapid fire range. That's going to be 2 hits, looking for 4s to wound. That's going to be 2 wounds. 4-up saves. I make 1, fail 1. So injury roll here. 1d6. And on a 4, he's within range of the terrain there. So he is obscured. He's going to take a flesh wound. So starting off the fighting phase, this guy's going to attack into my ranger. He's going to have 1 attack here, hitting on a 4. That's not going to be a hit. And now the Scion's going to punch into him as well. One attack. That's a hit. Looking for a 4 to wound. No, no wound. She's going to spend a CP to reroll that. No, into a 1. I've got a t-shirt you can borrow. This guy's going to attack over here as well. Now my guy's going to attack over here to start in the fight phase. That is not going to be a hit. And they get to attack back over here. That's a hit. Looking for a 4 to wound. No, no wound. All right, so that's going to be the end of the turn here. We're both going to spend CP to keep our one flesh wounded people from failing or taking nerve tests there, so they're going to be good to go. So now we're going to roll to see who has initiative going into turn 4. My opponent rolls 6, I rolled a 5, so we'll come back to you after Astra Militarum movement phase here on turn 4. Movement phase for the Astra Militarum here on turn 4. These guys moved up. He stayed in combat, they stayed in combat. He moved up over here to the corner. He readied himself, and then these guys readied themselves. So that's going to be it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the shooting phase. Oh no, for the movement phase for the the Ad Mech. Sorry, I forgot about this. One guy has to take a nerve test over here. So it's going to be one. She's going to spend 1 CP to allow him to take a nerve test on a D3 instead of D6. So 1 D3. Plus 3 is 7, so he still fails. That is going to be a nerve. All right, movement phase for the Ad Mech. They're going to stay in combat over there. I'm going to ready over here, and I'm going to ready over here. So that's going to be it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so her grenade guy is going to start us off by shooting it into my dude bro over here. It's going to be 1d6, hitting on a 5 because of obscurement. That is cocked. Reroll into a hit. Strength 6, that's going to be wounding on 2s. No, no wound. You want to spend CP to reroll that? Spend a CP to reroll that one. Oh, into a wound. That's just good enough. Looking for a 5 to save. Yeah, with the filth phase. Woo! So now my arquebus guy is going to fire into the guy back over here. One shot hitting on a 4 because of the flesh wound. That's a hit. Wound on 2. That's a wound. AP -1. So looking for AP -2. So looking for a. Oh no, AP -2 is going to go straight through. So and that 5, he's out of action. So now my guy over here is going to fire into his guy over there. That's 2 shots. Ooh, no hits because he is obscured. And then this guy over here is going to fire into my arquebus guy. 2 shots, hitting on 5s because of obscurement. Getting 1 hit. Looking for a 4 to wound. No, no wound. All right, into the fight phase. The Scion's going to start us off here, attacking into my range over here. So it's going to be 1 attack here, hitting on a 4. That's not going to be a hit. And I'm going to attack right back. That's not a hit. And now this guardsman's going to attack into my ranger over on this side. That is a hit. Looking for a 4 to wound. No, no wound. And then my guy over here is going to attack in. That's not a hit. And last but not least, the guardsman up here is going to attack into my ranger. 1 attack. That is a hit. Looking for a 4 to wound. No, no wound. We actually forgot one thing in the shooting phase. He's going to fire into my arquebus guy over here. Do you want to spend a do you want to supercharge over there into him there? Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to have 1 shot here. This is going to be hitting on a 4 because of 5 because of obscurement and range, but 1s will blow up. Oof, he is. Do you want to spend? Can you? 1 second. Yeah, no, he did. All right, so that's going to be it for turn 4 here. We now have some break tests to take because of guys that have lost here. So I've got 4 out plus 1 with a flesh wound. So that is going to be more than half of my army there. So my alpha has a leadership of 7. Rolling for break here. And on a 10, I am broken, which is not great. I'm going to have to roll for nerve tests now. I'm going to spend 1 CP to auto pass. Who am I going to auto pass? I guess my leader. I'm going to auto pass my leader down there. 1 second. All right, so I'm going to take my nerve test here. So I auto pass my leader, but then I'm going to have to roll over here. So there are 4 guys out. So 4 plus 1. He's good to go, which is great. The guy in combat over here. A roll. He's good to go. Guy up on top here. On a 5, he is going to be shook. And then the guy over here. On a 5, he's also going to be shook. So that's not great. So now my opponent, she has to roll now to see her leadership because she also has 6 out. Plus 1 has a flesh wound, which means that she has to roll for leadership here. So it's 2d6. Looking for 7 as well with your leader. And 7's good to go. So she is not broken. And she's going to spend 1 CP to auto pass this one guy over here so that he is good to go. So that is going to be it for the morale phase. We now have to roll to see if the game ends, because that was turn 4. So roll a d6. On a 1 or a 2, the game will be over. And on a 2, it's over. So we'll come back to you with the score. All right, so at the end of turn 4 here, the game ended, and I have killed 2 specialists. The Glacial Goddess has killed 3 specialists. She also controls this objective in the middle there, because my guy's shook, and she has 2 fresh guys that are good to go. And then she controls this objective back over here as well. So giving a total of 7 points to 2 for the Astra Militarum over the Adeptus Mechanicus. Man, that was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be there. I think next turn, the fact that I broke and I have a bunch of guys that can't do anything doesn't help me very much. But I could have possibly done some stuff. But yeah, a very well fought game by the Adeptus Mechanicus. And a hearty thank you to my wife for helping me film this while we are stuck inside because of the coronavirus. So, an awesome time here. I hope you guys have all enjoyed this, and I hope you are all being safe and taking care of yourselves and your loved ones. We're going to get all through this together. So, thank you very much, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I certainly have. And until the next time, have fun.